welcome to 2023. May it bring you wealth and prosperity.
Your goals, resolutions, the channel progression for 2023. Have you got anything that you've got in mind?
2022, I think, will be my peak year. What about you? You got any resolutions? You going to upload a video to your channel this year?
So I'm going to I'm going to aim for one a month. You know what I mean? You've had been knuckle deep up the sphincter.
Yeah, you got away with words. I'm Adam.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome to 2023. May it bring you wealth and prosperity. Can you hear that? Can you hear this? Sounds like some tractor driving outside.
It's Bank Holiday Monday.
We were on the cusp of like a big move to a new fancy studio, and then, well, we don't earn any money, so the rug was pulled out from that idea. How you been, mate? Do you enjoy Christmas?
I did, mate.
I'll extend that to you as well, George. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
We just renewed George's contract as well, so he's agreed to work almost pro bono. So we should be all right for another year.
Oh, we're lucky to get that.
How was it, mate? How was your Christmas?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was nice to have like 3 days off and spend it with the family and stuff. Had a bit much of them after 2 days, but it was good. Yeah, how was yours?
Good, mate. Yeah, it was good.
Danielle enjoyed the safari giraffe, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, we've not been there yet, but
she enjoyed the thought of the present.
Yeah, she thought it was an amazing present, as did everybody in the comment section.
I was in the minority there, wasn't I? Yeah.
You always are.
Yeah, usually, but part of that is just me creating some tension. Because
genuinely, did you think that were a shit present?
I didn't think it wasn't as bad as the dog bag that I bought Lynn's, but like I didn't think it was. If I had bought Lynn's, that should have been a bit like, what?
What did you buy, Lindsay? And like a customized T-shirt?
No,
it seemed like a cop out.
I did buy her a T-shirt because she's a big fan of Stargate SG-1, right? So I bought her this T-shirt with I thought a pretty good pun on it, which you would only really understand if you'd seen the show. I'm not a fan of the show, just to be clear about that. But I bought her that, and I basically said that because she's very supportive, puts up with a lot. I took her to one of those Tiffany shops, right? Where they do bracelets and stuff that are more expensive than average. I think that's that's the theme I got. I thought it would be a grand gesture. Say, yeah, we'll go to Tiffany. You can pick something.
Where is Tiffany? Is the one in Leeds?
No, the closest one is Manchester.
Right. Okay.
So we went to the one in Manchester, right? And she picked out a bracelet. And to her credit, I was like, you could just pick not anything you want. Right? I wasn't like, yeah, go pick something. Don't go pick something that's like $3,000. But if you want something that's like a few £100, you would normally think is too expensive.
Yeah.
I'll treat you right. So she picked out like a bracelet thing, which to me just looks like you polished a bike chain. It doesn't look fancy to me, but that's what she wanted. So I bought her that, and I bought her a couple of other like little tiny things. Like I bought her a heat. This is going to sound terrible, but she really wanted it, or she really liked it. Like a heatable, those things that you put in like a microwave, you heat them up. It's supposed to be therapeutics for when ladies get that time of the
like a sandbag, like a wheat bag,
kind of like but it's they put them in like a nice.
So a designer wheat bag.
Yeah, but it was like in the shape of a uterus, right? Which at first I thought, but that's kind of funny. But she actually liked it. She's like, I like that's cool. But I like to get stuff that's not like too conventional, right? It's a little uterus with a smiley face on it.
Oh my God.
But anyway, she was very, very content with what she got from me this year. Because I can tell when she doesn't like stuff. So I got just a couple of little shitty things, really.
Yeah, fair one, mate. There's some good presents. I would like to also start off the new year by saying that a public apology, because I believe that I made a horrible observation on our Christmas podcast.
You don't need to retread it, man.
Apparently I said something about curdled semen that seems to have...
You had to say it.
It was a bridge too far. You could have just said, I apologize for that remark. Everyone would have known what you were talking about.
I had no idea. I had a couple of meads, and I was reading through comments, and I kept saying... I won't say it again. We'll call it CS. And I screenshot it, put it in chat. I'm like, who said this? Like, in what context was this said? And then you reminded me.
The context of you having too much mead. That's the context.
So apparently that... you soft asses.
But we are going to make an effort to swear less at least this year. So it should be... Or I'm going to make an effort to swear less.
We're going to try to keep it PG.
No, not PG. Steady on that.
What, 15?
15, yeah. Not 18. So we'll try not to say the C word, and I'll try not to...
Curdled?
No, the other C word. And like in American observations about films, you can only say like the F word a certain amount of times before it becomes an 18. So maybe we'll take that as the approach. I don't know, but...
Well, shall we start as we have previously started in the other year with some YouTube comments?
Let's do it.
It's time for a YouTube comment from you.
Okay, so today's comment is from Sam Macquarie 1573. And he says, Josh should do shots before every break in Beard. Alcohol is like brain juice for him. We've had a starter garlic bread, main chicken wings, and now dessert cheesecake. How do we convince Adam to have an after dinner coffee after Crimbo?
Oh, would it be coffee
Crimbo.
though? Or like I could do a song about after eights. That's something you eat after a meal, right?
That's good.
Although I hate after eights. Or like a cheese board. That's something that kind of you could extend past dessert, right? It's a bit similar to
Quality
a cheesecake. I told you, man, there ain't gonna be no more songs. Ain't gonna be no rematch. I say that now. I'll get to July and it'll start.
No, you get to the end of November and go, fuck it, let's do a song.
No, if I do, it's gonna be well prepared in advance. Don't worry.
I like that comment though. But
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I'll get on the brain juice again.
We've got another comment from Kirsty123. This was another joyous episode to watch, guys. This is on the Christmas episode. I look forward to the episodes and extras each week and can't wait to see what 2023 brings. Hope you all have a lovely break, whatever you're doing. Much love.
Oh, thanks, Chris. That's a nice one.
I appreciate that. I didn't think the Christmas one was as good as I thought it was going to be.
A lot of people watched it though, and I never see the Spotify stuff, but it's like 5,000 people watched the video, which is mad.
Yeah, and like 4,000 or 5,000 downloaded it on Spotify as well, surprisingly.
It's like maybe we'll get that deal after all. We need to get back that thing again this year. I wouldn't apologise for my behaviour last year. But
Would you go again?
I'd go again just for the free barb. Just
I'd like to apologise to absolutely nobody.
Maybe what was the guy called that I didn't realise worked for Spotify while I was insulting Spotify?
Rowan. He was called
Rowan. Maybe I'll see Rowan again, or maybe I'll buy him a drink from the free bar.
Rowan was like the nicest guy there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for the comment, Kirsty12345. Appreciate that. In the spirit of keeping this PG, I wanted to share. We're not going to do Festival because we've grown up a little bit now. But Tory Mike put a headline in the chat, and I figured like this would be really, really good. So we could put it on screen. And what it is it's
Josh will be apologising at the start of next week's podcast for this.
It's a quote that says, "When people say New Year, New Me," and the headline reads, "My 2016 resolution was no more blowjobs. But by half past midnight, I had a cock in my mouth."
I saw it.
Try again next year.
That's good. That's something like the Daily Star or
It's
something.
almost like it's almost like it was like an accident. Ah, damn it! I had a cock in my mouth again.
I hate when that happens.
Why do people like? I can't imagine Daily Star paid them too much money. So why would you want that your face committing to a paper with that story next to it?
There's just some absolute like poverty headlines that come out. You know, when it gets a bit quiet. That's the one of them.
Yeah,
isn't it?
sometimes I get nobody's like
normally you eat it, yeah.
man eats this. I don't know, but yeah, thanks for that. Do we have an agenda today?
Oh yeah, I've got some more. I've got on my list. Adam taking fist up the arse. Can you please elaborate on?
It's already 18, mate. We've already gone from 15 to 18 unclassified.
I hear you've had been knuckle deep up the sphincter.
Yeah, you got away with words. What he's trying to lead us into, I think, is I had my annual physical
My annual fist.
health check. The funny thing about that was though is that it wasn't just like a prostate exam, right? But I had, through Boop, I had like basically a full battery of health checks, blood work and all that stuff, fitness tests and stuff like that. But then you get a consultation with a GP to talk about anything that might be concerning you, any minor ailments or whatever. And we had that, and that didn't last long because I don't have any, there's nothing wrong with me. But he kind of said to me, he was like, "So, Adam, do you want a prostate exam?" Kind of out of nowhere. And I was like, well, I feel like I can't really say yes to that question, Doc, because then it implies that I just want you to put your hands in me. Do people normally say yes to that question? He's like, well, they don't normally think about it that deeply. And I was like, oh, well, is it, put it another way, is it kind of included? Do people normally get it? He's like, yeah, it's including the price. So if you want one, I was like, well, I might as well then, right? If I don't, then I'm not getting my money's worth. So yeah, then they assume, I've never had one before, right? But you have to like assume the fetal position facing away from the doctor. Then they lube you up a little bit naturally, which is polite of them. And then not to get too graphic, but they definitely used more than one finger. I could sense that, but I didn't think it was too bad. Like I know a couple of friends who've had prostate exams are like, oh, it's terrible, it feels awful. But if anything, I came away from it thinking like, if I was ever put in prison, I'd probably be all right,
I imagine he'll did all right with you because I can only imagine what size of shits that you've had. Like,
he was like, yeah, it's all right, all right.
Mate, that's good news though. Like,
yeah.
Fair play to you. I'll take my hat off. I'd be scared shitless getting a full medical thing. I'd just be like pure paranoid, like what's going to come back, you know?
Yeah, but you know me though. I know enough about. I get the thousands of troll comments. Oh man, you're gonna die at 40. But I believe it or not, I'm not an idiot, right? So I know enough about the human body to know that going into it, like it. I'm not saying that means I'm invincible. But I just know that like if there's anything wrong with me, I'd probably already know. But apart from like, you know, you can never know what your cholesterol profile is and whatnot. Yeah. So you get stuff like that checked, and it's cool that you get, you know, the ECG, check your heart, and they give you like a body fat analysis, and they go pretty. If they do like a fitness test at the end, which is the only thing I didn't really ace. You know, like I was just at the high end of average, and I thought I'd be
exceptional athlete.
I don't know if I thought. I didn't think that because I'm not. I don't do a great deal of, you know, dedicated cardiovascular exercise in terms of for fitness, VO2 max and whatnot, lung capacity.
Yeah,
I walk a lot, but that's not really the same thing. But yeah, they do that. And the coolest thing to me, I thought, was that they based on like all the tests they do, they give you what they assess as your daily calorie need. You know, like what they think you need to take in. And mine came back at like 2,942 or something, which is mad because I always talk about 3,000 calories a day. So that's how close.
That seems mad, you know, for your size. Not to like that in a dig, but like because you're not big, are you? That seems like a lot of calories for your size.
No, but it's what little mass I do have in my body is predominantly muscle.
Wait, we saw because you made me get that shot in of you swinging kettlebells.
George, you know I wanted to do it in my hoodie. Don't. I know he's paying your wages.
Oh yeah.
Barely.
I'm gonna do it with my hoodie, but you had a fucking stringer on. Yeah.
Anyway, well, you barely even use shots from that. But anyway,
he's doing extended out.
I'm more active as well, and like believe it or not, like even like if you walk for an hour a day, that's considerable. It's not loads of calories, but it's, you know, a couple hundred. So if you're walking briskly, so
well, I mean, like we said, I'm really happy that your physical exam came back all clear. It means that we can continue on this endeavour.
I'm not dying. Blood pressure's still good. Cholesterol profile's excellent.
He did proceed to tell this story on the Saturday of my 30th birthday when he came to the studio for a few drinks and a little gathering. So like that was the first thing that came out of his mouth in a room full of 30 people.
Was it?
Yeah.
Break the ice, right?
So we had a little gathering in the studio for some close friends and family for my birthday, and Adam rocked up with a bottle of mead, didn't you?
Yeah, because you said you liked the mead. I paid for next day delivery to get it in time for you.
And then you drank it all?
No, you drank it all. I was drinking I didn't bring any beers. I felt bad. Like I was drinking the communal beers.
Oh, you were that guy?
Yeah.
That's all right. Did you give the mead to my dad? Because my dad were like...
No, he was drunk when I got here, mate.
Rotten, mate.
The funniest thing was we played like was it Danielle that got the cups?
Yes, the beer pong.
Your better half, right? We play beer pong. For people that have played beer pong, you normally get the big red plastic pint glasses, and we were playing it with like tiny glasses smaller than these. So it was like a marathon beer pong game, right? Because nobody could get it in. But your dad, despite being the drunkest person there, scored them. Like he got 3, I think I got 2, and you got 1, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up winning. But it did, like, people at first were crowded around like, oh, this is good, and they lost interest like 45 minutes in. We should really have had a halftime break to rehydrate or something, you know, a few oranges, but. It was a good time.
It was a good do, mate. I think, my dad got absolutely rotten, which caused massive fallout in the Gudgeon family. But I just left them to fall out between each other and just moved them away. The funniest part about the night was right. So this is an observation for any of you out there. If you've got a group of mates, in the group of mates, there's always that one dickhead. And if you're thinking who's that dickhead, you're the dickhead. But in our group of mates, there's my mate Alex.
Oh right,
who's a dickhead. And I saw you and Alex talking. I'm like, oh shit, like this could have did tears. But then you got on and I realised.
Which one was Alex?
The one that you were talking politics with. Ginger hair.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get himself an invitation to be on the podcast. I'm thinking, no,
it gets all cancelled. But you and him got on quite well, and then I realised that you're the dickhead as well. That you're in your circle. So the two dickheads came together and got on. I thought it was going to be a fallout. I thought we'd have to like separate you, and you got on. I'm like, oh, it actually makes sense.
Come on now. I was fully aware of my surroundings. You know, people I didn't know. And I thought I did quite well. I'm pretty bad at socialising generally, but I thought I did all right.
You did good, mate.
To say I didn't have Mrs. Beard in tow.
And you got pretty merry as well, didn't you? Because you even put on your Instagram singing jolly tunes on your way home. You don't remember doing that?
I don't know, but luckily Mrs. Beard picked me up. Yeah. Because I was pretty drunk, but
It's a party.
That was the
Christmas.
idea, wasn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. I see you spent all of that YouTube money of 2022. Could have had anything. Could have been a McLaren. Probably not a Bugatti.
Steady.
Definitely could have been a McLaren. Big Rangy. A couple of motorbikes.
Motorbikes?
A spaceship. But instead, you bought fucking Mr. Bean's car. What is that thing?
I was, you know what, the most gratifying part, or the second most gratifying part about buying that was your reaction to it, because I knew it would irritate you, because he's like a big petrol head, right? He loves cars and like flash stuff, whereas I'm like anti-flash. So I bought this, you have to put a picture of the car up on screen, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would probably have seen it. But I bought this thing called a Nissan Figaro, right? He's like, you have that the devil and angel on your shoulder thing. So he's like the devil, because he'd be like, yeah, you've had a good year, treat yourself, get yourself like a Porsche or like something super flash.
It kind of just said Adam also was like, I might get a Porsche.
No.
I keep looking at these Porsches.
Yeah, because I thought I've never really had like what is considered a nice car in life. And I thought like, obviously I've got a Tesla, but that's for work purposes, right? So I think I need a personal car, right? Because I'm sick of driving Lindsay's if I need to go to like somewhere that's too far. So I walk a lot of places, but if it's like 10 miles, I'm not going to walk, right? But anyway, long story short, I thought maybe I'll buy myself something. I never buy myself anything, apart from you giving me grief for buying like an All Saints jacket or something last week.
Your All Saints hoodie.
The week before or whatever. So it kind of crept up. I thought, yeah, maybe I'll get myself a nice car, like a Porsche or something like that. But then I had this kind of epiphany as I was on like Auto Trader looking. And I thought, you're not that guy. Don't be a dick. Just get a car that's you. And then I was lucky enough to come across this thing called a Nissan Figaro. George, you'll have to overlay it on screen because a lot of people won't know what it is. It was made in 1991 and 1991 alone in Japan. So they're like imports, but they're designed to look like a car from like the 50s. And I love stuff like that. I love old cars, even if they look shit by, modern cars to me just look, they're not fun to look at, So I saw this, because they're so pretty rare, they're not particularly, I guess, nice to look at for most people. But because they're rare, it's hard to find them in good condition, right?
Yeah.
In good nick, still work in order. But I found this one and it was like 12,000 quid, right? But that's for like, you see them like that for a lot and a lot more sometimes. Yeah. So I saw it and I thought, I don't need to get that on HP, right? I can just go and just buy it. So we went to this place, I think it was in like Mansfield. Like for whatever, 50, 60 miles away. So went down to look at it and it was like a bit rickety when it started and I was like, this is weird, But I thought, yeah, I'll buy it. So I just bought it and I'm glad I bought it, it's fun to drive and I mean, it's terrible to drive, but like therein lies the fun, I think.
So is it just like on your drive? Like what?
Is it parked at the end of the drive?
Is it just is it like a proper classic car then? Like
No, it was made, I suppose it is now because it was made in 1991, right?
Yeah.
But obviously that doesn't look like a car from the 90s, does it? It looks like, so when they made it, the spec I think was to make a car that at the time in 1991 was reasonably modern, but that looked like an older car, right?
So is it built just to look like a 50s car, but it's not got the sort of
I think it's basically
makeup of one?
From all the car nuts that were getting mad at me in the comments, like, it's fucking shit, that, man. Some guy says to me, he's like, yeah, bro, it's just a Nissan Micra. I'm like, it could be a fucking washing machine for all I care, mate. I bought it for the way it looks on the outside. I'm not a boy racer or anything. But yeah, it's basically I think like a 1 litre Nissan Micra with a nicer body, and on the inside it's got like the bus driver style wheel, and
it reminds me of like on the In-Betweeners, where they get that one car between them, like bus wankers. That's what it's like a bus.
If you're into kind of retro looking stuff like me, like my dream car, like if I could have any car, would be like, there's probably in fact I wanted to buy, but it was like too expensive, right? I wanted to buy this thing called a Morgan Aero. Don't know if you've ever heard of those.
Morgans are quite a unique looking
one
cars.
that looks cross-eyed.
Yeah,
Cross-eyed?
lots of boz-eyed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Morgan Aero.
Yeah. So it's like, but Morgan is like
it's one of them.
Yeah. So they make cars that look like old British. They were like an old British race car company, right? But they now make cars which are basically like a BMW Z4 or something, but the outside looks like a classic car, right? But they're like $100,000, and I've never spent that in a car in a million years.
That does look pretty sick though. A Morgan, one of 8 Morgan Aero GTs. That looks nice. That. Yeah,
it does, but where I live without giving it away. That's going to last 3 hours where I live at most before it gets keyed or nicked or something. So anyway, I bought that and I thought, when I bought it, I had the instant buyer's remorse, but the more I've driven it now, I'm like, it's all right, it's fun to drive in. It's the kind of thing that people are going to see on the street and point and laugh at, and that's what I'm going for. I don't want people to be like, oh, look at that, look at his fucking Bugatti or whatever. You're a dick if you drive those. I'm just going to say it. But I bought that and I don't know how long it's going to last.
You got AA cover, mate, because I was with you when you I don't know, ran over a nail in your Tesla, and that was like the end of the world. You're so angry. You're so angry.
No, I don't.
Can I quote at BeardMeatsFood as well, right? So he's incompetent. Like, I don't know how you've got to 37 years old to be so incompetent, but he bust his tyre, like, I don't know, 4 miles away from the studio. So I drove down, I thought I can help him because I can at least change the wheel. Teslas don't come with a spare wheel. I didn't know that at the time. So he didn't think to Google like a tyre repair person. So I rang a tyre, an emergency.
No, when you came down, I thought you like had some connections, like you knew a guy in Morley or something. You could.
No, I thought we were just going to change a wheel.
Oh, well, I didn't.
And so I rings the guy up, and he's like, "Yeah, I can only get there in an hour." I'm like, "Sound." He's like, "Yeah, it'll be 200 quid." And so I'm like feeding it back to Adam, and Adam goes, "Tell him I'll give him 500 quid if you can get here in an hour." He's like trying to splash the cash.
Throw money at it.
Yeah,
No, but you think about that because I know that's a business expense, right?
Yeah.
And that was out of the goodness of my heart because I thought, well, we're on a schedule here. You've got stuff to do in the afternoon.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking, like, Josh is going to be mad at me here.
You know I won't get mad at you.
You secretly would get mad at me and just hold it inside.
I actually burnt the studio down, so before we started recording.
Nearly got electrocuted.
In the cameras behind us, they're connected into the walls for power, and I got my foot caught on one of the wires, and it just ripped the thing, the plug socket out of the wall.
Cartoon puff of smoke goes up.
Puff of smoke, and all the lights went out. I'm like, oh no, and it's a bank holiday, so the landlord's not about. But we managed to bring it back to life. I could smell it, like I thought we would start a fire.
I'm just happy that you're all right, mate. I'm just thankful that you're okay.
I'm okay, mate. So, I mean, what else has gone on then over Christmas? Because I saw that one thing I did enjoy on your Instagram was the picture of you and your nan.
Yeah.
So please tell me, enlighten us with some stories about your nan's sex life.
She didn't really have anything much to say.
Is she still getting on it now?
I don't think so. My granddad's been long dead, so...
Nah, I thought about a bit of peace on side if he's been away a while.
I don't know, maybe. It wouldn't surprise me, I'll tell you that. But it was... She didn't really... There was nothing at Christmas really that she... You know, she's that age now where, you know, when you get past... I mean, everyone does it, but you get past Christmas dinner and then you fall asleep.
Yeah.
But she's like falling asleep while my nephew's smashing there's no drum kit, so I'm like, whoa, she's well gone, right? But yeah, she had like a few sherries and whatnot, and but there wasn't anything... She didn't regale me with stories of her sex life this year, which I was thankful for. But yeah, man, she's still going strong. She probably outlived me, actually. I reckon she'll get to like 105 or something. But yeah, she's all right. But it was cool. Went to my sister's house for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
She cooked, yeah, man. I ate so much. Because normally, you know, probably for the last 6-7 years, on Christmas Day, I've always had like a little bit of turkey with some like broccoli and gravy, and that's it. You know, because I've normally been filming around it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But this year, although I did film around it, like I knew... The frequency of filming had been far less after getting back from the last trip, you know, in Oklahoma. So I'd not eaten much the week before Christmas, and I knew it wasn't going to the week after because I'm about to head out again to Tennessee this time. So I actually ate a bit on Christmas Day. Yeah, so
you didn't eat a bit because you messaged the group chat saying that you think you've got a hernia.
I think I've given myself a hernia. I haven't, luckily. But yeah, I was just like eating all day long. But the food was, because like my mum always brings like 7 desserts, but then nobody ever eats them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this food ain't going to waste on my watch. If there's one use I have, you know, like some kind of banquet style thing, so I went through like Christmas cake with cheese, and which is apparently, I think it's just a Yorkshire thing. Nobody I know ever does that. You know, you get some Christmas fruit cake.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put cheese on it.
But no one else in the UK does that.
I think it's just like a Yorkshire thing as far as I know. But correct us in the comments if you know any different. But yeah, man, there's that cheesecake naturally, which I thought just a song about cheesecake, better eat some of this. But yeah, I ate a load.
Georgie boy, how was your Christmas day?
It was good. Yeah, I went up to my grandparents. First time I've been there for Christmas. We played a thing called the present game. So me and my missus went out and bought 20 shit presents from Poundland and just wrapped them all up like a shitty little like foot massager thing, or like a tin of Pringles or something like that, yeah. Frey Bentos pie, and wrapped it all up. And so you put all the presents in the middle, 2 decks of cards. My missus will have a deck of cards and she'll deal out the rest. She'll pull out a card. If you've got that card, you go, all right, I'll take a present. Right, and then cool. When all the presents have been taken, then you start stealing off people. And you steal like gifts that you think, oh, that looks good.
Yeah,
they're all crap.
Is that like a real thing then? That's like a Or
I
did you
think
make
so.
that up?
Her family did it last year. And
I like that.
The first time I did it, so I said, we'll take it this year and we'll make it.
I'm not sure it's entirely in the spirit of Christmas to be stealing presents, but I like the idea of it.
Do you know what happened as well? The funniest gift my granddad could have got, he's bald, and he got some like hair wax or something like that. I was like, that could not have been any better.
You could use it as dome wax. Nothing better than a shiny head. Anyway, how was your Christmas?
It was good, mate.
No, we haven't had a fathering feel for a while. It must be surely at Christmas.
Has to have been.
Surely, because I saw you sent me a picture of Tilly dancing at the cheesecake song, so she clearly respects artistry despite her father.
I know she loves that song. To be fair, I don't know. I think we've been pretty safe so far.
Yeah,
I'm trying to recall. Like, I don't think anything bad happened from a fathering fail standpoint.
You jet off straight off to I don't know, man, the Czech Republic or something.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
day after Boxing Day, I think I flew out to the Czech Republic. But no, Christmas Day were really good. We stayed at my parents on Christmas Eve. Woke up there, did some presents, and then went across to Danielle's mum's for Christmas dinner, which some of her family come over from France. And Charlie, one of the young lads there, he's only 10. He bought a Nintendo Switch. Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's like the modern day equivalent of the Game Boy, right? The handheld thing.
Yeah, which is a smart bit of kit. But you can plug it into TV and you can use it like what was a Wii, so you could play like Mario Karts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this is a brand new Nintendo Switch, right? And he's like, right, let's play Mario Karts. I'm like, sound, like I'll win, super competitive. Before we even got to that, he handed it to me to start setting it up, and basically the handles come off, and then you add like these. I want to say like an adapter onto it to make it into like separate remotes. So it basically 4 people can play it. And I put this thing on the wrong way around. It got stuck. So I immediately it's like a £500 bit of kit, and we got this thing stuck on it. So that means that none of it were usable. And I almost started World War III. Luckily, we managed to get this handle off, but I completely fucked it. At that point, I knew I were an old man.
We got it out, so your dad got it off then, yeah?
His dad. I completely fucked it. But yeah, then a couple of days later, I flew out to the Czech Republic to
watch some orchestrated violence.
Orchestrated, mate, it was immense.
Looked like a blast, yeah?
You should have come.
Well, I mean, it seems. I said we should do that next year, but I mean, like, I wouldn't do it over Christmas. Come on, that's the time when I'm trying to enjoy stuff.
You text us on Boxing Day saying, "Right, lads, I'm bored now. Like, how do people do this?" And I put. I won't say what I put, but I basically said, "Well, I'm flying out tomorrow, so long. Good luck." But the fights were amazing, and the announcement came out, which for fight fans in the UK, you know Paul Smith, the comedian.
I don't.
You know of him now because of...
I know, apparently my sister's a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Because you were talking to her about it at some point.
So, I mean, when I met him for the first time 3 months ago, and I spent 3 hours in a cab with him, I didn't know who he was. And he's got like 400,000 Instagram followers, and he's sold out a tour for 2 years in UK.
Why would you?
Like, I recognised him slightly from like the TikToks and stuff that go around because he's a funny guy, but I didn't actually. But now I know who he is, and everybody else seems to know who he is. But he's fighting, and he's going to have a professional. He's 40 years old. He's going to have a professional MMA fight on Octagon MMA. Now, fair play to him. He's getting a handsome purse, and he's donating 100% of it.
How much?
I don't think I can't
say. But he's giving it all away to charity.
Can you bleep it out?
I'll bleep it out.
Oh, all right, that's fuck all that, man.
That's fucking a lot of money.
But the important thing is, I think you're going to say he's giving it all to charity.
Yeah, so he's donating 100% of it to Weapons Down, Gloves Up, which is a charity in Liverpool for obviously to prevent youth crime and getting into. So, but he's 40 years old and he's making a pro MMA debut is something else because it's so dangerous.
Who's he fighting? Does he know anything about fighting though?
I mean, he knows about fighting.
He's a scouser, so he probably knows a bit about it.
He's got 10 months to train, so the fight's going to happen in November. I can't say who his fight, unless you're going to bleep it out.
It's not been announced yet, but I'll bleep it out if you want to say.
Yeah, he won't know who it is anyway.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't risk it, because he might forget to bleep it out.
And so basically, he came over and we've done I shoot somehow this is my job now. I get to shoot behind the scenes vlogs of events, so I get a cage side seat and I just react to the fights. So I'm like a really shit show.
You love it, don't you?
How good's that?
That's like comedy. That's like me getting a job, like commentating on football or something. You know, it's one of those jobs that you're not really qualified to do, but you would love to do it. You know,
it's exactly that.
I'm happy for you, man. You work hard, so.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. So basically, the Czech fans got to find out about this fight, and Andre, the owner who does the MC, and he got all the crowd hyped up, and then Paul.
They all like, who is he?
Yeah, they didn't know who he was.
If I'd been there, I'd be like,
But we'd done like a promo video, so they played the promo, people, so they understood who he was and the sort of scale of who he is.
Right, okay.
And then he walks out in front of 20,000 fans to AC/DC Thunderstruck.
Mad that.
And the fucking roof blew off, man. It was unbelievable.
That's. I often think that whenever I watch UFC, what song would I come out to?
Yeah. What would you come out to? What's your fight song?
I kind of feel like maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd do like Tom Hardy, in Warrior, just come out to complete silence. But I wouldn't. I'd probably like, I don't know, something that nobody will know, like Architects or something like fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like get pumped up. But I don't know, like with 10 months training, but I could do, against to be my own size, I think I'd be all right. I'd never do it because I don't want to get my nose broken. It's like perfect. It's probably the only thing I like about the way I look without my beard. But yeah, I just don't think I would do it. But I think if I had 10 months, I could be reasonably proficient at most things.
Well, I forgot to tell you, Breaking Bread has sponsored AVT's cage. So we've got a logo on the cage at AVT.
Do it?
Yeah, we do, yes. Danny Mitchell, we're looking for some sponsors because not to read.
How much does that cost us?
200 quid.
Oh, that's not bad.
I think that's all right.
I sponsored a kids like not Little League. What do we call it in England? I don't know what you call it. Kids.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like a little kids
junior
rugby.
Sunday league.
I told you, like I sponsored my Lindsay's. I don't really. I've never really considered my nephew because I think I have a weird thing about family. Like it's to me that I only think that's blood relatives, but whatever. So like Lindsay's
excited listening to it crying, going, Uncle Adam don't love me.
They hate me anyway. Lindsay's sister's son. Like he played rugby for this team, and they were looking for sponsors. So I gave him like 280 quid or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Sponsored him, and then he left the team like 2 weeks later. I'm thinking that makes it look even weirder now because I don't even have a connection to this team, and like I sponsor him. But,
George, quickly, what would be your walkout song?
Oh God!
What are you thinking about?
I've never given this thought.
No, come on. Have a think. Yeah, you ever think? I've got one little anecdote to see what you're thinking.
What would yours be?
One guy. So I fucking shit you. I nearly filmed it. One guy came out to Machine Gun Kelly.
No,
come on,
did he
man.
lose? I can't remember.
Come on. Oh, come off it.
Maybe I'd have BYOB by System of a Down.
Oh, that's a good tune.
Yo. George, we're coming out to like.
Oh, I don't know.
I know what he's coming out to like.
Put me on the spot here.
I think he's gonna come out to that song from Top Gun, Playing with the Boys. You know where they're all playing volleyball? That's what you're gonna come out to, I reckon.
One kid came out to I'm too sexy for my. He got beat.
You could play it two ways, can't you? Either you could be like take it really seriously and have some really kind of dramatic music, or you can, I think, maybe try and disarm your opponent a bit by playing something daft, which implies that you're not taking it seriously because you're so good. But that only really works if you then go on and win.
You've got to win, haven't you? But yeah, so like we walked out to Thunderstruck, it was fucking immense, and like I'm buzzing to see that. And yeah, it were a mad weekend. It took it like because we basically finished the event at like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and then we were getting picked up for the airport at 4, so we couldn't go to sleep. So I just went to the after party and just powered on through. But I've been like a zombie for the last 2 days trying to recover from it.
Yeah, you need, especially when you get past 30, you need like sufficient sleep. I mean, that's why I'm so irritable all the time because I barely ever sleep.
All right, so we have over Christmas, we actually put quite a lot of content over on Patreon. Adam, you made an exclusive Patreon video, which I think was an accident.
Oh, yeah, it was. Well, I'm not. They don't call me a paywall, George. I wasn't about to put people behind a paywall. I you know what? I quite like the idea of I filmed a video which was a little bit. It wasn't anything that was. It was like a full day, a long form style thing.
It was like an uncut. Obviously, it was cut, but it was like a raw vlog, wasn't it?
It was kind of like a vlog style thing without all the massive amounts of effort that go into making something very story like.
Yeah.
And it was eating, right? Naturally, because that's what I do. But I didn't eat so much that it was debilitating or anything. And I just filmed it because I thought it might be fun to do. But I don't think it really worked for my channel. But then I thought, hey, well, maybe that'll be a sweet gift or whatever, since you talk about Patreon and whatnot. Something, and I thought, but once I'd done it, I thought, hey, well, maybe if I want to do more stuff that's a little bit out of what I would normally do, why not just? I don't want to start a second channel or anything. Why not just give it to the people that are very kind to support this shit show on Patreon?
That would be good, mate. It's like a lot of good feedback from that as well, because obviously it's like a little exclusive look at you basically freezing your dick off and eating all day. That's
so cold.
Why did you not get wrapped up a bit more? Like you seem to be well underdressed for this.
I just didn't think it was going to be that cold. I don't know what it was.
But anyway, if you want to see that, it is on Patreon. We put a bunch of content out over Christmas. Everyone got early access to pretty much everything: the videos, the behind the scenes video that George managed to whittle together just before Christmas for my channel. Extended Q&As and stuff like that. It's good, man. Like, that's the way that we're trying to sort of push it going into this year to avoid having to sell ball shavers. But
yeah, fucking, I can't deal with selling stuff, man. It's getting like with age, I'm getting so like
cantankerous.
The amount of like podcasts, I get why they've got to do it. I know, I realize I'm the one that's in the wrong, but I'll be listening to podcasts and be like, hang on a second, while I talk about Mercedes and their entire range of cars, and I'm like, fuck off, Stephen Bartlett.
So this is like, we're trying to.
I'm not trying to start any beef or anything.
Fuck you, Stephen Bartlett.
I like his podcast.
He's such a hypocrite. That we were talking. I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. God damn it!
You could try to say because he said I don't have a car.
Yeah, so on the low through one, on the low through one, he's like they're talking about Andrew Tate and stuff. And they're talking about cars, and Stephen Bartlett's like, "Oh, I don't own a car." Blah blah blah. Literally, I'm not joking. 8 minutes later. And we just need to say a quick thank you to our sponsor, Mercedes-Benz. I have a Mercedes-Benz GLA, blah, 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 and it's fantastic, and I can do some work and shit in the back while my chauffeur drives me around. Fuck you, Stephen Bartlett. You fucking liar.
Lad, you're going to get us blacklisted. The problem is when you pick out a podcast which is really successful, there's crossover, so if people listen to that, it's not like they're choosing, I'm going to go with Team Breaking Bread or something like that. Stephen, if you're watching, I'm quite a big fan of that podcast. I'm lying, I've watched 2 episodes, but it was decent. It was decent when I watched it.
Nah, he's good. You're good, man. But anyway, speaking of Patreon, right? Just last thing on Patreon. I went to, have you heard of the Have a Word podcast? George, you'll know it.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Have a Word podcast?
No.
So a couple of Scouse comedians over in Liverpool. They naturally. They've got they do like a lot of Patreon exclusive content, and they've got a lot of people that support their podcast.
Yeah.
They've got 18,000 Patreons. Do the maths. 18,000 by $5 a month.
100 grand?
Got to be on it.
Well, just less.
Close enough. Per month. That is like, makes your head fall.
But you feel it would be incumbent upon you then to really make the content high value.
Yeah, and that's what, like, it's sort of like...
Which this is not.
No, I think it is. But their studio, right, is unbelievable. Like, they've got... You can see how much work goes into it now. So like, it's like a final. Mate, you should have been there, George, because they had a photographer, they had producers, editors, they had, I think, a 6-camera setup. This full set, full studio. It was incredible, and obviously they're putting out 2 podcasts a week. So like a Patreon one and then a guest one that goes out. A bunch of other content, TikToks and stuff. And I was like, I get it. It's a machine. It's a content machine. Yeah. I was in awe. Like,
I'm a content machine, brother.
No, but like we are literally restricted. Because we haven't put any clips out on Clips channel or TikToks for ages because there's only us trying to. But that were incredible to see that.
Can't get the stuff.
Can we get one of those? Speaking of Stephen Bartlett, to go back to him, can we get one of those?
What are these gang signs?
I was trying to articulate.
Yo,
wasn't Jenna doing that in the music?
Sure, yeah. I got cheesecake.
I was trying to give the impression of he's got clearly the camera on a slider.
Oh yeah. On the cock.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is like it looks cool unless it resets its motion halfway through. Because it's supposed to go like that and it looks like it's one continuous thing. Yeah. But then like sometimes you'll use it and it'll be like. Can't we get one of those? You put it there. No.
Well, if we get a couple more patrons, we can get a slider. There you go, Adam.
I deleted my Patreon with no explanation. I used to have my own like Patreon. I don't know why I set it up. It was ages ago when people were like, "Oh, can we contribute to the channel?" I'm like, "No." But then so many people asked me. I was like, "Okay, well, I'll set one up. You don't really get anything for it, but it's a transparent way for you to donate." And then I was like, This ain't you, man. I only ever had like 6 patrons.
I keep looking at your channel when I watch it, and you've got the little Teespring bar underneath, and I'm like, we need to do that for the podcast, just do some Breaking Bread t-shirts.
Yeah, but the worst thing about that is like they just change their prices all the time. They'll send you an email and be like, "Oh, the price of this item changed."
Yeah,
and then they'll default to like. I put it in so I basically make like 40p or something on every item because the whole reason for me is just to sell it is because it's a buzz to see people wearing them, not to make money from it, or just to make a bit to cover whatever.
Yeah,
but then like. So you can set that, right? You can set the price. But then like if they change the wholesale price of a hoodie, for example, it'll like default to some ridiculous profit margin. So there'll be a t-shirt on there for like 26 quid. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it irritates me because then people will be like, that's a bit expensive. I'm like, oh, you're right, mate. Sorry, I didn't know about it, So I'll have to go on Teespring to change it all again. I'm like, there should be a way there's probably a way to prevent that from happening. But
I can imagine you not signing on that for very often, once a year. Just would you add any more designs on there?
No, I just, no. You know what I mean, man. I'm not really.
I just had a thought. You know, you were on about the camera on a slider. Instead of it going from side to side on the wide, it could go up and then down, and you just cocks her out under the table.
You've been spending too much time with this guy.
Get a macro lens for Adam's size.
Zoom
Like
in.
a thumb sticking out of a bush.
That's pretty much what it is, yeah.
Right.
It's a nub, but that's what it is.
We'll start winding down a bit, but can we talk about your goals, resolutions, the channel progression for 2023? Have you got anything that you've got in mind?
No, I think that I don't really do New Year's resolutions seem so dumb to me. You know, if I'm going to resolve to do something, I just do it. I don't wait for like some arbitrary point in the Gregorian calendar. It's the 1st of January. I'm going to, you know, you get that with people that diet a lot, don't they? You know, yo-yo dieters.
Yeah.
Like my sister, Lynn's, my mum, I'm dieting tomorrow. Oh, you're dieting January 1st? Well, no, it's a weekend.
Monday, we'll start Monday.
Yeah. And I'm like, why, man? You can't start on like March 1st, or you couldn't start it back in December. Anyway, I don't really have any specific resolutions other than what it normally is, which is like try and make content as good as it can be. Travel more. I would love to. I've said to you a few times, I'd love to do something that's a bit more experimental, maybe in the sense that I'm still gonna be eating a load of food because that's the only thing I really have to offer. But with maybe a crew, like so, I said I wanted to do. There's a place where they do like an all-you-can-eat chicken wings thing.
Yeah.
Which isn't like a challenge per se, but they keep score of like who's got the record. But I think it would be cool to do that with a crew, so it's a bit more like a TV style production. That makes sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because obviously when they do those, they don't bring you like 100 chicken wings out. They bring you like 10 chicken wings out, and you have to order again. So you wouldn't want to just have like a fixed camera, for example, for 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So some more stuff like that. I like the idea of it's not like on the agenda, but when we were talking about traveling, you said let's go to Czech Republic in a van, or whatever. So I'd love to do some more stuff like that. But for me, it'll just be like trying to make my content as good as it can be. But I think for me, probably not that it's sad in a way, but like I think I'm probably have the common sense to know that 2022 I think will be my peak year in the history of the channel. I think it will be. I'm not saying it'll be in like decline from now, but I think. People don't really want to say it, but I think with YouTube you kind of hit your level at some point.
Yeah.
A bit like a professional footballer, right? Might think they're really good and they realise that they're just good enough for the championship, right? It still makes you good at what you do, but I think I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I think I'll just try and for me, this year be more about making content as good as I can, rather than making it frequently. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just try to do more.
Does that mean less videos this year?
Yeah, there's going to be less videos. I've not really dropped that bombshell yet on people. I'm sure that's going to come. But I think the only thing I would say with that is that, like, I noticed in 2022, without getting all serious for a second, but like in 2022 at that back end, like, having done for 8 years, 2 videos a week, best part of 8 years. And then because of the extent of how long every video takes now, it was getting to the point where I'm working like 70 hours a week, and then there's the podcast, and your personal life suffers. And not only that, it's not really my personal life that's the motivation for me to make fewer videos. It's like last year I said to you, I probably made 10 videos last year that I didn't upload.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's shit.
Yeah.
And it's only shit because I think I've got to film something rather than having I always get a buzz out of doing like episodic content. So there'll never be like less than one a week or something like that.
Yeah.
So people are like, there's definitely gonna be a new video on Sunday, and I'll try and still make as many as I can. But it will be, I think, it'd give me more freedom to not think I've got to film a video for Thursday and Sunday every week in, week out. Rather just kind of do one really great video a week, and then maybe have a week here and there when it's 2. But I think that's
such it was like, I don't think people will appreciate the mammoth undertaking, or like the mammoth marathon that you've been on to do at least 2 videos a week for the last 7 years.
Especially like it was easier at the start, like when your videos took like 3 hours to edit.
Yeah.
But now, like, especially like after Oklahoma, like I remember getting back from that trip. I've got like, I never get like cold sores, but like I felt unhealthy. It wasn't like a food thing. That's probably a contributing factor. But like, I'm not asking for sympathy. I love what I do, right? But there's a point in time when I was just saying to you, like, I just need to get to Christmas, man. I just need to get to Christmas, because I was like 70 hours a week. You know what I mean? Like just watching, like filming yourself, watching yourself, and then there's like the burden of. I was saying to you, right, more people, you've got to make better content. And it's something that people would kill to be in that position. But I enjoy it. But there are points in time where you think, I'm just working hard for the sake of putting out videos. I'm not. It's like, if somebody made like Nicolas Cage makes 10 films a year now, rather than The Rock, which was one good film, not The Rock the person, as in back when Nicolas Cage made great films. So I think there's an element of that there. But yeah, it was a hard year last year, just purely because every video takes so long, like 30 hours or something to make.
Which will blow people's minds. You think you see the 8-minute video.
Yeah, part of that is like my own, my own like inadequacies and whatnot. It probably wouldn't take me that long if I was a bit more streamlined about it. And like there were times last year when I spent like 2 hours picking a song for the start of a video. Who the fuck cares about that, But there's part of me that I want to make it what I think is objectively good, and if I don't do that, then it won't go up. I don't care. I would rather,
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it's good though. Like,
I don't know if it makes sense.
If that's you peaking, that's some peak, and I can't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not pulling like a
one video a week is still fucking loads, mate. That's 50.
Yeah.
That is a lot of work.
But I think you understand the people that really care. Like the people that would almost watch whatever you do will understand. I think they'll be like, oh, that's a bit shit. If he's making a few less videos here and there. But the bulk of people, are like, what the fuck? They just want to be entertained. But I'm like, if people listen, I'm not going to be going down. I'm not going to be just doing a couple of videos here and there. I'm still going to make at least one video a week, and probably it'll turn out being like, I don't know, 6 videos a month or something, more like that. But I think the takeaway thing is just I want to make videos that I could not feel the pressure to just make 2 a week.
Yeah.
And hopefully that makes sense and people understand that.
I like it. So no goals or resolutions, more just an adaptation of what's already going on.
Yeah, let's get to some more states and whatnot. I'm going, I'm going to Tennessee, and then that's kind of there's a, I don't want to say it's equidistant, but where I'm staying is you can get to like 4 or 5 states basically within two and a half hours. So just like see, because I think last year I landed on it would be cool to have done like a food challenge in every state or something. Yeah. So if I could do that before like over the course of the next 2-3 years, that'd be cool. But that's pretty much it, really, and hopefully contribute a little bit more to this podcast.
That's what we're hoping for, isn't it, George?
Yeah, George.
Well, people are going to get 2 lots of Beard Meats food every week anyway, because counting the podcast. Yeah. So
I don't know if that counts, but all right. I mean, but by all means, come and listen and watch and whatnot. Watch rather than listen. But if you have to listen, don't watch if you're in a car because that's illegal.
George, any resolutions for this year?
Resolutions? I'm actually going to try and do somewhat of a dry January because I keep saying all the time how I don't care about alcohol.
By the way, how flash was George dressed when he could? Like, I wanted to take the piss out of him because he was wearing a turtleneck, but he just looked so cool that I couldn't. I was like, I want to take the piss because I couldn't pull off a turtleneck. Who can? I'm not Steve Jobs.
I came wrapped up to this office. I thought it's gonna be freezing.
Yeah, like what looked like kind of a not houndstoothy, but like some kind of jacket on a roll neck. I thought, fucking bastard.
Proper swish, wasn't it?
I don't know how you dress stylish.
No, I don't know
how it's possible. This is a stylish.
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy.
That's good though, dry January, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to try and give it a go because I always say how I don't drink at home. I only drink when I go out. And the last couple of times I've been out, I've kind of just not drank as much and I'm not that arsed. So I just thought, January, I'll just try and cut it all together because Mrs. is doing a shred until March.
Oh yeah, she looks like she needs to lose some weight. Was she about 6 stone or something? Jeez, man.
No, but she's like dieting hard, training hard. So I thought I might as well do something with her. And I don't want to train, so I'll just give up alcohol.
You just lost me. Don't want to train.
Fair cop, mate.
Yeah.
What about you? You got any resolutions? Just keep living the dream. Just globe trotting and whatnot.
See, like I feel like we ended the year. It was turbulent on it, George. Towards the end of the year, to the least. But I feel like we're in a good spot for going into this year.
You're going to upload a video to your channel this year?
I actually did.
Lots of videos.
So I uploaded one video in December, the behind the scenes to the.
That was last year though.
All right, yeah, no, but I want to upload. So I'm going to aim for 1 a month on my channel.
I like that. Matt Stoney frequency.
Yeah, I'm going to go for because
that sounds like a dig. That was just an observation.
Obviously,
Matt Stoney on a pony.
Last year I put.
That was good.
I love that.
Last year we put all the effort into the podcast and everybody else's channels. To be fair, everybody else's podcasts and channels, and I think I've got a little list. I haven't shown you it yet, George, of what I sort of want to achieve as far as like uploads and deliverables. But
do I get a sneak peek? I want to see the list.
But I think I just want to keep doing like this. Where I'm like, it was turbulent towards the back end of the year, but to be able to go do these shows for Octagon and progress that side of my career. As long as I want this podcast to be the one, like keep going. There's no resolution. It's just keep doing it, man.
Yeah, you're living the dream, aren't you, man? You work hard, but I like the fact that you enjoy it. I think it's nice for me. This is going to be hard to be sincere for once, but it's nice for me to see you get excited about something that you really like doing, which is a nice opportunity for you to do the Octagon thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you work really hard and whatnot, so it's...
Cheers, mate.
That almost hurt, you know. It's hard to be sincere, isn't it?
Everything out of him then.
Well,
we clip that.
Five years older.
And that day, the Grinch's heart.
Well, what a beautiful way to end this podcast, eh?
Yeah.
Any final comments?
No, not really. Just thanks to everyone that downloaded I don't think I mentioned. Thanks to everyone that downloaded the song at Christmas. If you're interested, I don't know how much it's made yet. I probably won't know until like probably late March or April. But thank you. That was a journey in itself. But yeah, cheers.
Yeah, man. Thanks to everybody that listens and watches every week. This year's the Breaking Bread year.
Well, I mean, last year was a good year. We've been technically doing this not 3 years, but in 3 years because we started in 2021, didn't we? Or did we start last year?
I think we may have started.
You did a Christmas special. That was Mrs. Beard last year.
We started.
So we were,
21.
So this will be the third year.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's very condensed.
We've truncated it a bit, but it was. I am blown away by how many people. When I saw that, like so you just told me 5,000 people listened to the last episode, and it's been watched 5,000 times on YouTube. 10,000 people. To me, that's like amazing, given what this is.
Yeah,
so thank you very much.
And as more people find us, the more they go up. So like the original, like the time Beard shit his pants.
Yeah.
The amount of downloads on Spotify.
Evergreen. That story's evergreen. That's never going to get old.
So that's the most exciting part, like with 16,000 subscribers on the main channel now as well.
Do you think we'll ever get to 100,000?
I think we will.
You asked me that, I think, like when we started, and I said no, never. And now I'm kind of like...
Is that when you get the first plaque?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could
We
put it
that
there.
plaque.
We could put it there, yeah. But it won't say Josh Gudgeon, it'll say Breaking Bread.
That's fine. Like, the heart and soul has gone into this. Like, we've given it a lot. It's a team effort. But I'll accept my third of it.
If it's a team effort, like I'm like the Dimitar Berbatov or something. Like I'm the guy that just never runs and just looks good. And then these two are like the workhorse, like the James Milner and I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody else that like works for Jordan Henderson or something like that.
In Liverpool.
But yeah,
I don't know why I went to Liverpool. Yeah.
I do think we're going to get a plaque. Maybe not this year, but we will get a plaque.
Yeah, maybe.
Viva la podcast. Right, that's it. No more needs to be said. Catch you on the next one. Peace.